race, finally got places, love to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And it is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago till we have this thing out the fix. We coming with facts, got them don't like acts. Every kid and race finally got places, love to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And it is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
Douglas politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago till we have this thing out the fix. We coming with facts, got them don't like acts. Every kid and race finally got places, love to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And it is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
Douglas politics.
Hey, Judy, turn down that Douglas politics attack. We have to do the promo, girl. Turn down the music. And what is that tune you're listening to, Judy? Douglas politics, Friday night. Oh Lord, the alarm's going off. Fire truck, police, ambulance. Everybody stay on alert for people playing music. Don't play music. The music bringing the COVID. The COVID not on Cobo. It's not on illegal immigrants coming across the seas from Venezuela. The COVID not in the fool in Tobago. The COVID in the music. Oh Lord, blame it on the music. Douglas politics, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. No music. I wonder if COVID does come with loud voice too. Oh Lord, Douglas politics, 7:30 p.m. Friday. We starting on time. Be there. Douglas politics.
Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics.
Hey. Judy, yeah, stop that girl. All that jam you jamming there on that bullet, man. Just give us about one ticket. Sorry. Judy, oh God, good evening. Welcome to Douglas Politics. I'm just making sure she go and take a test now to make sure everything copacetic. Let me start. Let's share the live one time, because Rowley boy, It's about time, boy. It's about time to get rid of you, your embarrassment to the entire Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. But first, let us say there's a proud moment for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Very proud moment. Anthony Nesty, Trinidad and Tobago and Suriname's Olympic gold medalist from 1988 when he beat Matt Biondi in the 100-meter butterfly and put to rest the myth that black people can't swim because we're too heavy. He blew out the whole world and won gold in Seoul. Anthony Nesty is now the head men and women's coach in swimming at the University of Florida. He beat out about 40 other applicants from across the globe to coach both two of the top NCAA teams of all time. Well done, Anthony Nessie. And all they didn't know, he had Trinidad and Tobago roots, and he used to stay by your mother and father when he come to train and thing, big thing. Former athlete, weeps. Let me tell you something. You all think that politics is not important. Keep the politics out. Politics in Trinidad and Tobago, because of the small size of the population and the large size of the budget, politics is pervasive. It pervades every aspect of life and society. So when you vote, left foot, right foot, whine a boom, see a pum pum shots, and then wake up and suffer, you understand why. The government, the treasury, the taxpayers, you are the biggest spenders in the economy. So everything is impacted by a political decision. The political directorate determines where resources go. So when Kamla Bisesa put Anil, who loves sport, who trains sport, who is the #1 qualified coach in the Western Hemisphere and the Caribbean, and on top of that is a passionate sport lover across the board. Any knowledge on any sport, I have some. You might know more about one specific sport, but when you put full 60 sport, including X Games and BMX, chess and snooker, badminton and archery, Anil will have a knowledge of what needs to be done and go in the cabinet and fight for resources. So under Kamla Bisesa, extra in the NPI vote, which is the people vote, the national team vote, the sporting vote, where Andrew Lewis gave money from, where Richard Thompson gave surgery from, when Sunil Narayan and Cooper needed to go Australia to fix their action. That where Anil and Kamla take money from to give them so they could perform for Trinidad and Tobago and make the country proud. That NPI vote under Kamla went up from $10 million to $140 million per year. Spread out community sports, uniforms, equipment across the board. You know, as Rowley win, that shrink back. The minister got bigger. He put Grabby Wabby, because he had to give him a portfolio because he wanted to keep him busy while he handled the wife. But then he get rid of Grabby Wabby, set up with Noel Garcia and his niece, all kind of bacchanal. And then who he replaced Grabby Wabby with? A lady who's chups and say, when your own dog bite you, you're well bitten. She didn't want to be in no sport ministry. She said the only thing she know about sport is she does jog, and when she was about 7, she played tennis. And now there is nothing for sport. You have PNM, people in sport, asking Richard Torpedo Thompson, a double silver medalist, well, it one turned to gold because he relay, because Jamaica lost. In 2008 Beijing, when Usain Bolt ran a world record in the 100, the man who was flying in, her name was red, white and black, Richard Torpedo Thompson. The PNM asked if he elite. Well, Kamla and Anil say our elite athletes, ask all of them, you get injured, you get surgery. Why am I reminding you all of this? Because when you vote for something, this is what you get. All your vote left foot, right foot. All your vote race. More African children has take part in sport than Indian children. End of story. That's a fact. So when you cut funding to sport, you're cutting support of African people, and all you say is an African party. That is why race has no place in this politics. Because you cut that from 140 million down to 10 million, and look at the end result. Imagine I had to read this. When I read in this article, tears come to my eye. Former national discus thrower Quincy Wilson
said he felt abandoned by the National Association of Athletics Administration. Now understand this. While it's the entries, because each body is autonomous, the entries can only fund athletes and take care of athletes if they get the subvention from the Ministry of Sport and the minister who is duly elected by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So if you elect a Shamfa Kujo who does jog, or you elect a David Nakid who has played football and administered football throughout the globe, or Anil Roberts or Arnold Ram who play international sport, if you vote for Shamfa as opposed to any one of those 3 plus others, that's what you get. This is what you get. The entry is, obviously, if the pie is 140 million under Kamla, the big large pizza, or cut it with extra cheese for everybody to get a little piece. And now Shamfa get the personal pizza at Pizza Boys. What you feel the entry is will get. So do I not blaming them so much? Them could only do what they could do, but if they don't have, you can't get blood from a stone. So former athlete is suing the entries. I don't want to go into too much in the case, you know. But the long and the short is Quincy Wilson got injured. And nobody had money and nobody cared to take care of him. A man who put his heart and soul for this country, red, white, and black, training and pumping iron, throwing. They could not even maintain the grounds and the equipment. So it caused certain... I don't want to go into too much detail because it's sub judice. Just to tell you, it's pain. It's pain in me. It's hurting my heart. And that's what politics is. Politics not no game. Politics not no put on a jersey and do a dance so. And then them come and tell you wean yourself off the government. Wean yourself off and giving only 1%. All the boys could have wedding. But if all you only zest, you get test. Man want to pump iron in the gym. Police clear out the gym. But you could drink champagne and scotch and eat kebab and kibi by Andrew Gabriel whole night with 250 people. No Babylon books causing disruption in their domestic affairs. But all you, the same black people who went and vote them. Babylon books all up in all your K-packs. When you vote, politics pervades the entire society. When you're talking that, here the next one. Senator Mark calls on WASA chief to investigate. Did a minister influence WASA to put an 8-inch pipeline by He Palace in Maraval? Did that happen? This is a very serious thing. People cannot get water. Watch this. No water, no relief for 6 months. Claxton Bay residents complain. We want water right now. WASA saying, Minister, the cutting managerial staff now. And if you're cutting managerial staff, now that the big money men and them. All your smaller money people, oh Lord, is bust throat. They say it could be about 3,000 all your lost in work. But while all of this going on, a certain fake Jed, it is alleged, put in pipe, like he like pipe. I find a lot of them like piping on tight shirt and pants. I'm getting worried, like all of them starting to lean to the left in the PNM cabinet. Me and know what's going on. Amory Brown, how you going? Yes. Randall Mitchell, Randall Mitchell, how you going to? You all right? You lock up your dog yet? They take your seat, they take your girl. Now they might come for your dog, boy. Take care of your dog, boy, Randall Mitchell. Now, you just wear tight shirt too, like a Rawi, I'm not sure. I will investigate that for next week. But no water, managerial positions getting cut, people getting bust throat at WASA. There's a corruption in WASA. Never mind PNM control WASA for 48 out of 60 years, eh? But now Bolin, oh, they come to clean up with some new fella. Me, I know the minister name. But if it is true what Senator Mark bust, and he does bust Mark, eh? Senator Mark said it is alleged, and a letter from the union, that a minister influenced somebody to put an 8-inch pipe main going straight to his house alone. Because he living by himself. Eh? It only have one house. It don't even have squatter above it to say they could dip a bucket. If that is true, imagine that you are taking the resources, using your power position to benefit for yourself. What does that mean? Misbehavior in public office. Pumsy, Rasta, how you going, boy? Me not talk to you in a long time, boy. You just living the Babylon life and saying that Jah in your heart, Jah not in your jets. Hey, your pumps, you take clung, your embarrassment to Rasta boy. Central Bank, rise in mergers and acquisitions in the region. Let me tell you something, if all you feel this COVID thing is a joke, and these fellas, Rowley, Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Richard Young, Andrew Gabriel, all of them, Richard, Mute, KFC man, they build a whole interchange to drop you into a bucket of chicken. That is what's going on. And under COVID now, the big boys getting richer because the big boys buying up the smaller ones. Those who battling. What do you think they locked down for? For some more all you to bust. So the men who are the cash come in and buy out all your tail. And monopoly, acquisition, oligopoly in our tail. Bad for the consumer, bad for competition, bad for price, sufferation for the people. But all they sit down there studying about who left foot, who right foot, who black, who Indian, who does have weave, who does have fake eyelash, who does have fake boom boom. All they study all of that. And don't study all your business. Central Bank, rise in mergers, acquisitions in the region. The Central Bank says there has been an uptick in mergers and acquisitions in the region in recent years. During her presentation, Francis Panto said in 2019 there were 4 acquisitions of insurance companies in this country. Guardian Holdings Limited by NCB Financial Group. NCB Financial Group, were you all aware of that? Bought up Guardian Holdings. NCB Financial Group, which was at Parla selling dynamite before Smallpin swearing on the Bible. Yes, I put my left hand because he had to swear with the wrong hand because he swear to do good to all without fear or favor. But somehow everything he do favor somebody by he. He recused himself more than any minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. His brother moved from 0 public sector work to 3.81 billion in 4.2 years. He is the greatest CEO in the history of the planet. Bagos and them don't want nothing with Weber Young, Small Pin Jr. The Pin hereditary boy. Daddy Pin, Baby Pin, Brother Pin. Lord. NCB Financial Group, Sagicor Financial Corporation acquired Invest Corporation, Motor One taken over by General Accident. Do you know what that means? Less competition in insurance, more price for you, higher premium, higher price, more jamming, less option, less competition, all going on. And I pre-COVID, what going on now? Pharmaceuticals, then all of them go start to buy up, bank shutting down, man closing down, ATM closing down, branch, all kind of thing. All you don't understand what is going on. We then move on to the Small Pin man. Small Pin put on his bad man vest. Like a super trooper. He can't put troops to protect the border. He can't buy diesel for the Coast Guard. He lied about mechanic coming to fix vessel. It had no air guard plane to fly with radar. It had no helicopter. It had nothing. But it have a bulletproof vest for Small Pin to look like he is a big pin. Boss, the pin not on your chest, eh? They could pin something on your chest. The pin is not on your chest. So he gone, relief vessel, Galleon's Passage. He gone to check the Galleon's Passage that he had a committee to procure when they were supposed to lease a fast ferry. He and Coleman Butt and them buy a slow ferry and then tell all you, it's for Toko Port that building. Well, he went to check out that as they pack it up with water and things for St. Vincent. But here the problem. 3 children, Trinbagonian children, abandoned in St. Vincent as a volcano is actively erupting. As it could erupt and explode, as the ash clouds, the damage, the water supply, the COVID-19, 100 ways to die in St. Vincent. Stuart Smallpin Young. There were 3 children that could have gotten on the vessel with 50 of our best, our Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, with captain, with official, right? That is when he was walking with Gary Griffith and the crowd was waving at Gary Griffith. Remember when Jesus was coming in on Palm Sunday, he was riding a donkey and the people were waving at Jesus and the donkey thought they was waving at him, you know. That's Stuart Smallpin Young. 3 children abandoned, our local Trinbagonian children, left to dead in a volcanic eruption. Understand this, you know. And here the rationale. the minister and the Ministry of National Security weren't secure and sure of the guardians or who would take care of them in state quarantine. So in Trinidad and Tobago, our state quarantine is more dangerous to children than a flipping volcano erupting. Brilliant. All you want me to say again? So them couldn't put nothing in place. We have Ministry of National Security, we have Children Authority, we have Police, we have Gender Unit, we have Ministry of Social Development, we have Ministry of Gender Affairs, Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Sport, Ministry of all kind of things, youth camp, nurses, doctors. We couldn't put nothing in place to take care of 3 children, 17, 12 and 6. All you take them off the boat. Think about a 16, 17-year-old on a vessel feeling safe. Oh my goodness, I've just got out of harm's way. I was worried about dying, this volcanic eruption. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. I am scared. I get on a vessel that's about to leave this place to take me to a safe home, Trinidad and Tobago. And the Minister of National Security and the ministry tell them come off the boat. All you soak in that for a second, you know. Because I ain't think all you really understand. I even hear a man say, well, I understand that. We must worry about, something could happen to them in quarantine. Well, if we so sick and we so can't manage our children, well then everybody in government should come out. How is it possible for a human being to say, stay by the volcano that erupting and emitting lava and hot ash, stay there and dead without water, rather than come in our state-run quarantine? I really can't understand. And if that is not inhumane, and if that don't sicken you, and if that don't make you get fed up of small pin Rowley and this cabinet on top of everything else, well, I don't know what else to say. They cannot even protect our children. Them leave the children. It was so important that 75 citizens, adults, were repatriated immediately because of the danger, the imminent prospect of death. They waived the policy. For 13 months, the policy was fire burn all your citizens. We are different citizens than all you, and we control our passport red and all your own blue. So stay out. You can beg me or check Jelani to come home. They left citizens suffering. I don't know if I'm making sense to all you, if you all understand this, All over the world, Trinidad and Tobago citizens were left to suffer. No medicine, dying. Some died outside. Some died here, and the children couldn't come to the funeral or come to help them while they was dead in. But danger in volcano. 75 come home one time. Okay. You breach your policy, because how the 75 come home imminent death, and the others who suffering and dead in stay out. Then you argue, well, the volcano is a more imminent threat. It's more deadly than slow starvation and lack of medicine. Okay, let's follow the PNM logic. I'm trying to follow the PNM logic. So the volcano is so deadly that they break the exemption policy that they adhere to so stringently that they bad dog Barbados, they attack Suriname, they attack citizens, they attack everybody for their policy. But the volcano so serious and so deadly, bam, policy gone, people come home. But you leave 3 children. But you leave 3 children. In the face of an erupting volcano, these flipping clowns who was partying in wedding while all you can't even go out and exercise, leave 3 children. Because they cannot manage kids. They cannot keep children safe. They cannot take responsibility for 3 children. Or you take a break before I cuss here tonight, eh?
Sugar politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago to be hardest thing out to fix. We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race finally got places love to the max. And when we tell them, man, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And there is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
Welcome back. I told you all what day is today, Friday. Tuesday night I told you that if you do a simple calculation and you go back 14 days to when the fool was boasting that it's not about this Easter, it's not about the fairy, but in the cabinet it's more about the fairy. I will give all your fairy tale next week probably. But Tobago is booming. Tobago is the place to be. Everybody, pack up. Go Tobago. And then we see, pick up something and pelt it away. Man picking up thing in bikini, man picking up thing in jersey, man picking up bench stool, crowd, no mask, nothing. Because that clown encouraged people to do that. And he went too. And he went in golf course. And he drink his scotch and eat his shrimps and play golf for 5 hours. With all kind of all you who now testing and worried. It good. And are your friend? It good for all you. I ain't sorry. And all they want to rub up with he and play the fool while other people suffering. People can't play basketball, can't play football, can't prepare for Olympics, cannot get outside, cannot get vaccinated to get out there. Olympics supposed to be in a few months and our athletes still home, cannot get out in the European circuit while all the other athletes competing, whether with crowd, without crowd, vaccinated and going. We are at a total disadvantage. No funding. Even those who need surgery and need medical help can't get no support. Man begging to go outside. People even begging to play football World Cup qualifiers. We had to play with World Cup qualifier in Puerto Rico. We so had no shame. But all you could play CPL cricket and spend $7 million to play CPL flipping cricket. But the national football team had to play in Puerto Rico with an upside down flag. And all they're telling me great is the PNM. PNM is a disease, boy. But I told all you, because of the clown, because of the next one, who look in the mirror, put on a tight pants and a tight shirt and say, yes, boy, looking good. I'm going and arm wrestle with 10 man. Let me look good, boy, looking sexy for them man and them. That one, all of them deciding and showing that you don't want to take things serious, do all you want. But I told y'all just now, because the 14 days coming, you go see spike like 82 cases and thing. Now all you might feel an liar. So otherwise have Vishnu Day and Archie to show all you that I ain't lie. So to show them that I ain't lie, go back to Tuesday. Rewind. Tobago Tourism Agency launches mask on Tobago. You're a little bit late, eh? You're now putting mask on. After we watch video, we'll pick up something and pelt it away, throw it away. Woman in bikini on top man neck going reverse, looking all through. We don't know what it is. Woman on woman, man on man, tight shirt, tight pants, big muscle, no mask whatsoever. Party, Zessa, glass bottom boat. All you now in Tobago saying put on mask. Well, today is about 14 days from Rowley's advertisement. Tobago is the place to be. Everybody's going to Tobago. Get over to Tobago. The economy is booming because of domestic tourism. Yes, everybody go to Tobago. That's what Rowley did in a pandemic, inviting people to go across and frolic they did. Here's the problem now. We're about 14 days out from that. And today, with whatever testing them is do, because it's not very good, it's not very pervasive, it's minuscule at best, it's sporadic in the norm. But let's compare like to like. That's what they have been doing for the last year, so leave it so. 70 positive cases today. And over the next few days, because of the 14-day incubation period, because of the asymptomatic spread, because of the community spread and the infectious spread of the disease, the Tobago effect is now taking national effect, because all the people who were frolicking with Rowley and so on in Tobago got on the plane, got on the beautiful ferries that cost 300 million extra without procurement, that ministers went to procure. Rowley and Smallpin went to procure, drank scotch and ate shrimps and purchased vessels costing $1 billion, then say give me 2 cutlass and come back. The frolicking, look at the strong handsome guy, humbly handsome, always with some man around showing off. I don't know, I can't understand, I really don't understand that. Always flexing in front of some man. That's not me that you only pictures. There's only pictures. If only have more pictures, show them more pictures. But 70 positive tests. And if you notice, but they'll probably try to, because the Douglas say it now, you know, them docs and them, there's increased tests by 31,000 when you tell them they test too low. Then they just test, they don't test. So now the Douglas alerting you that the next few days you will see upwards of 80, 85, 90 positive tests if they continue to test as they were sporadically. That's what you're going to see because of Rowley's irresponsibility. But you all thought last year through the media and through surveys and through the chambers of commerce that Rowley was doing great on COVID.
Me and no crystal ball, you know, me not know Yesina Gonzalez. Me not take no crystal ball to tell you what will happen in Trinidad and Tobago with the lockdown because of the Oreo prime minister you have, that you make mistake and vote, you go left foot izquierda, right foot derecha, and you vote a mierda, and then you have a cabrón. What you want me say? No crystal ball, is simple, científico, science they say, that's the science. All you see what I say? And what happened? I even call the figure exact, 85. And we get locked down. After them have wedding and spread, who they spread, and went to spread like blue band on bread. And Judy Raymond, how you spread? So then now, I reading my papers today, boy. I reading papers. And when I reading papers, I see a headline in the Express page 4. COVID restrictions upset business community. Well, I want to read what could upset business community. DOMA, Downtown Owners and Merchants Association, very worrying. The president of DOMA is Gregory Aboud. Widespread disappointment is how downtown Port of Spain businesses took government announcement. They're very upset about the lockdown. Well, let me just ask you something, Gregory Aboud. You ready, Gregory? Put it up on the... No, not all you, Vishnu. Gregory, type it on the comments for whoever could see. I don't see the comments and thing, but you type it there, Gregory, because I know you're watching. And if anybody does not know that Gregory is not watching, message Gregory and tell him quickly, and he's going to ask you a question. Gregory, Gregory, not Gregory Isaacs, you know. Gregory Aboud, since you are so upset with the lockdown of Rowley, where was Saturday, Gregory? Gegos? Gregory! Where was Saturday?
Saturday gone. Where you was? Were you there with your beautiful wife? Did you all dress up lovely? Did she pay a makeup artist to come home and fix up for that beautiful wedding? Is it true? I just asked. I don't know, you know. I wasn't there. Me, I see a picture, a video, not asking, Geggy. Geggos, if you tell me no, Anil, I was not there on Tuesday, I go apologize. Not apologize because I ain't say nothing, but I go state the fact that you wasn't there, Greggy. Please, message me. You know how to find my number. You don't have my cell, but it's easy, everybody have it. Call Small Pen, he does listen every day to what I had to say. That's why I just cuss him too, so he could print out. Let them bring more Israeli to Mako we phone, as if we care. So Gregory, and they're just asking it. Don't get vexed, I know you just get vexed and want to buff up man on radio and thing, you know. Afraid that, you know, Gregory, afraid buff. Where you was Saturday, Gregory? You went? Did you go? Because if all you went, and not only Greggy, I'm talking now to the 200 to the 250 guests who went in the wedding, who was in the wedding on Saturday. Let me ask you all this. While you all were bathing with your Lifebuoy soap, oh sorry, all you don't use Lifebuoy soap, that's for people I agree. While you were bathing with your squeeze-on body wash, your Cetaphil, and so on, and you were preparing to head to a wedding that you knew full well would have a minimum of 200 people and a maximum of 260, and you knew about the COVID-19 regulations, you knew about the pressure that the entire country had been put under by a government that did not know how to manage COVID, you knew about the laws and the regulation, you knew about the science of spread. You knew that if you all went there and one person had COVID in that wedding and they touched the roast pork and the kebab and they drink champagne and they knock glass and then they dribble on you and you hug them up while doing the slide at the bride hug the husband and lime and laugh, that you all could be spreading the COVID. But that COVID don't stop where it starts, that it spreads out and that every other citizen could pay the price. So now when 38% of businesses have already shut and will never open, and now on this 3-week lockdown due to stupidity of Rowley, Small Pen, Tight Pants Al-Arawi, and Hug Up Man, Hold Hand Al-Arawi, and others like Andrew Gabriel, Rowley's best friend who now gone by Faris, like he do this to embarrass Rowley because he going with Faris against Rowley. Well, good for you, and Amory attacking everybody. Bacchanal. We're not interested in all your PNM Bacchanal. We're interested in the country is in chaos. People are suffering. So Gregory and all the people, well, I don't know if Gregory went. Let me say all those who went, because people went. We saw videos from Stephen Rees and thing about the cars. We saw on Douglas Politics the security. We know the wedding was big. We know it's Andrew Gabriel, Rowley Bredgen, Rohanson, and now move across the Faris. To all those people who went to the wedding, all you really care about anybody else? Truly. Seriously. How selfish are you all? People can't even exercise now. People, businesses going to shut down. Children not going to get a meal. People are going to be unemployed. You who was in the wedding probably going to fire some people in your stores or in your businesses that you have. But you're in the wedding. Breaking all protocol, breaking all science, breaking all propriety, breaking all humanity, breaking all respect, all courtesy. All you really went? All you that hungry for flipping free food and drinks? Eh? Rich people so cranny? All you so patriotic for red, white, and black that you ain't care how many people, businesses now in Trinidad and Tobago, from La Brea, Point Fortin, Couva, Pinal, Princeton, all across Trinidad and Tobago, from Chagaramas to Macleod, everybody's suffering now. But all you wine and jam in our wedding, and plenty all you know each other, you know, because inside our wedding,
When a man have a girl, at least 4 of them share it over the decades, you know. We know, but are you really so selfish for true? Are you really so sickening for true? Are you really don't care so for true? So I just asked Gregory, since he vexed, if he was there, and the other 200 to 249 people who went. We know Andrew Gabriel is a sickening clown, because if you love Rowley and put Rowley there, you could only be a selfish idiot. We know that. I know that before you. I know he long time. We know that. Sickening. Don't care about nobody else. But to the other people, all you really so? All you couldn't say, well, this is nice. Let me just take some of my millions and buy a gift for the bride and groom and tell them, sorry, I won't make it because, you know, protocol. The country, all of us are in this together. And it had P&M ministers there. Which ones was there? All you're making laws and telling everybody shut down and shutting down people's business and nobody could earn living and people losing jobs. But all your partying and liming and drinking and all your people telling me politics is the same. Kamla and Rowley is the same. All you're sick. So to all the people who attended, shame on y'all. I hope it was a nice line. I hope the DJ played well. I hope the entertainment was fantastic. I hope you all felt that feeling of love, and when you went home, you rekindled your years of marriage in your marital bed and you all had fun. Because of y'all, everybody else can do nothing. Because of the oppressive government who y'all put also. So don't complain now, business association. How many of all you was in the wedding? How much? Let me ask you something. How many poor people was in that wedding? How many zessers was in that wedding? How many black boys with vests and jeans and a little gold chain was in that wedding? How many CPEP workers was in that wedding? Because everybody suffer now. How many corporation daily paid workers was in that wedding, being unpatriotic and indisciplined and selfish and disgusting and nasty? How many? You see, money don't give you a class. Money don't give you humanity. Money don't make you courteous. Money don't make you a nice person. Money makes you a selfish. Anyway, left foot, right foot, all those people are called out. WASA workers, all they was in the wedding. HDC applicants who looking for a house, all they was in that wedding. No, but all you dip all your finger for them to go in the wedding and all you get fired and lose work and get told to wean yourself off the government. All you vote for that. But none all you was in the wedding, you know. All your home following the laws. All your home behaving yourself. You're going by the grocery by yourself with your mask, buying your thing and going home to cook for your family. Saving your little money. Daily paid workers, you ain't getting no work. Nikwan workers, they get paid in 5 weeks. All you wasn't in that wedding. The very people who was in the wedding, and now we on lockdown, going and fire some of all you. And all you vote for that. Because of who is Indian and who is African. When all you're going to stop the nonsense? Left foot, right foot for them. All you went left foot, right foot for them to fit. And for you to suffer. Well, what all you want me to say? They have a little video there to sum it up, you know. So my question to all you who went to the wedding. Yes, you receive an invitation. That's very nice. You know that whoever sent out the invitation and paid for the wedding, the father of the bride, is a total disrespectful, unpatriotic clown who never do nothing for the country but suck it dry. All you know that. So all you couldn't get the invitation and say, okay, we'll just send a gift and stay home because our country is more important than this flipping wedding. What they want me say? Run the video there now.
Because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe one or two parties, maybe one or two lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards.
Are you ready for our next red jersey? You want another red jersey? Walk behind a music truck. Do a nice, beautiful, well choreographed dance, because my black brothers and sisters are so athletic, coordinated, brilliant, flexible, amazing, brilliant dancers. You want to put on a red jersey and do another dance? You weren't able to use that skill in the wedding? You weren't invited? How come? You was home, police kicking down your door. You probably have $1,000 to pay because you get a ticket for breaking COVID regulations. That fool who was speaking there in that Bermuda shirt, he had an invitation in his pocket for the wedding while he was buffing all you and tending all your wean all yourself, and they have nothing else for all you to get. You all want to vote again for that? Isn't it amazing? His 35 contacts, he said to take one fool. Them only say 35 contacts he had during that period. Right? But you all have to believe them. Never mind them just lie every time they open them out. But who are the 35 contacts? Why is it a secret? So you don't know if you was in contact with one of them 35 contacts. So if you was in contact with one of them 35 and 35 people was in contact with 10 people, like 350 people, and you don't know who touched where, when, what. COVID all up in all your K-packs. But lockdown, suffer, not them. Them acquiring companies, their market share going up, them raising their revenue from 300 million to 600 million, them buying up insurance company to come back and charge all your higher rates, them going and buy gas station to jam all your so all your car can afford to drive, and all your balling left foot, right foot, put on a red jersey and wine your nice bumsy. Bumsy don't bring food. Red jersey don't bring work. Left foot, right foot don't make the cabinet smart. We in a total and complete mess. I dare any PNM now type something on the comments and say one thing them clown do good. Say one thing. Say I voted for the PNM because they did this. Say it. Tell me what they did or what they are doing. The Queen invite 30 people. She married a man for 74 years. She loves she little baby man. But she loves she man. Poor man dead at 99 and 11 months. And in all that life, she invite 30 people to the wedding and print and get the media the 30 people who are invited. This clown say he had COVID at 35 contact. But yet we can't see Bridget and he said George to answer David Lee letter 10 days now to say, listen, what is the position?
Rowley say he had COVID. He was in the parliament. He was moving around. He was all over, spitting and talking and shouting with the Oreo self. Sanitize. What's he testing? Who? Was he arm wrestling and snuggling with small pin? Was he hugging up tight pants? Did he buckle tight pants, tight shut, tight pants, belt? What was he doing? While they all in the parliament spreading and spitting and talking. No sanitization. The rules don't apply to the parliament, no. But the courts and the DPP's office remain closed. Court buildings across the country and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions remain closed for most of this week amid the spike in COVID-19 cases. 2 days ago, the judiciary said in a statement that all courts except for the Point 14 Magistrate Court would remain closed as a precautionary measure in keeping with COVID-19 protocols. But the Speaker of the House cannot respond to the Leader of the Opposition and the Chief Whip Opposition. The Express was informed that an employee at the DPP's office also recently tested positive for the virus and is currently in home quarantine. Because of this positive test, the DPP's office on Richmond Street, Port of Spain, has closed the building for thorough sanitization. So one employee in the building tests positive. The DPP office is smart enough, sensitive enough, patriotic enough to shut down and do a thorough sanitization of the entire building. But the blue wig lady ain't answer David Lee yet. And you all think it's a joke. It's funny. Penal Debe Corporation closed because a staff member tests positive. The Penal Debe Regional Corporation is now closed to members of the public after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. Immediately after receiving word on Wednesday, Chairman of the Penal Debe Corporation, Dr. Alan Sami, said COVID-19 protocols were activated. Sanitization of the building and corporation vehicles began yesterday. But Rowley tests positive in the parliament and a Dr. Avery Hines coming to tell me that no, it's 2 days. WHO on February 21st says that 2 days when you're symptomatic. The problem is Rowley had no flipping symptoms, Avery Hines. Sneezing is a symptom of COVID, Dr. Hines. You should change your name to Dr. Hyde and go and spin flipping tunes because you can't be serious. Sniffling, sneezing, and runny nose is signs and symptoms of COVID, not fever, not loss of taste and smell, not dry, hacking, unproductive cough, not a sore throat, not aches and pains, not rash. You rewrite the science on COVID to tell me about stuffy nose, runny nose, and flipping sneezing, Dr. Hyde. Let me ask you a question now, since you're there. And we go skip forward if all you had a video with my boy, you know, the buck if you have it. Just put a hand up if you have it. But because we're going forward out of schedule. Dr. Hines, let me ask you a question. I saw you did your master's or your PhD or something back in 2004, 2005. Just around the same time that Joe Newell had created the secret scholarship fund. You know that Laurel Izama leasing had get $500,000 for quietly and then it busts in the newspaper and so on. But she wasn't bright enough to finish what she had planned to do. Right? But coming to talk about who I tell to scratch. Eh? All you could go and scratch. Laurel Lizama leasing. Just like the PNM tell your husband to go and scratch. Where the fire am. But anyway, Laurel Lizama leasing was a recipient. Over $500,000. Nobody know. Never advertised. Who apply? Who compete? What is the conditions? PNM style. Joe Newell Williams. The lady who crashed Calypso and tell Calypsonian they had to sing what she say or no money. Well done, Joe Newell. You kill a whole art form. But to go back to that scholarship fund, Dr. Avery Hines
since you like to answer question only when it's posed, I posing a question to you, Dr. Avery Hines. Were you ever or did you ever receive any funding for your studies from that Joe Newell Williams Ministry of Community and Social Development Scholarship Fund? Were you one of the recipients, Dr. Hines? I just asking you. You can tell me, no boy, I, Dr. Hoyd, never got no money. I go there. Look, Dr. Hoyd, he looking like a mic man. That is why all you should put he in a fete with 5 people because it's he protocol. All you could pay $20, 5 all you could party and he's the DJ, Dr. Hoyd. So answer the question, Dr. Hyde. Did you or were you the recipient of any funding from the PNM Scholarship Fund? Because I can't understand how a man of science, a man who study book, could talk so much nonsense, openly, overtly, knowing that he lying and talking crap. And from one Dr. Hoyd to Dr. Sweetboy Dunce. Parasam, where you going? Like you're fed up now, you can't do no more. Like you reach you reach the obstacle, you can't climb over that. You reach as much mierda as you could talk. Because I can't see a Parasam, either that or you in quarantine too. They swab your nose. All you have it? Where Parasam? Since he talked this, me I know where he is. Run it there, Archie and Vishnu. Run it.
That as soon as on Monday night, last Monday night, when I started feeling my nose itching and I started sneezing a little bit more than I have experienced in time before without having a flu. Nose itching and I started sneezing a little bit. Doc, since you have the mic, could you take us, as we're talking about concentrating people in the homes, how are we responding with respect to increasing our testing?
Right. We saying all kind of prayers, we throw blacktail, bonin, gugu, lohoban, incense, we doing all kind of prayers, reading Bible, we get oil from the church, we throw salt around the house, we pour garlic, lemon, we throw lime water, all kind of thing, red lavender, ammonia, 7 spirit, spirit of sprintine, all kind of thing we throw in around the house and still it's not going.
Yes, that if you know, while I laughing, that makes so much sense. Because that is the kind of nonsense since day one of this COVID-19 fight and protocol by this bag of clown, a man who couldn't pass a pharmacological exam, and next one who don't read nothing and just procure and have one man in a grocery with a big bag. Noel Garcia one big bag, so, and I swear every time I come out my sister and my sisters in Alice Glen, oh God, the meat nearly rotten. All you come now, man. What more you can't get fresh meat? All the money, all you're making. I went there yesterday. Lord, the meat brown like it cook in the freezer. Look, don't play the fool, Alice Glen Massey. Yes, change it. I have to give my dog the meat, yes. And I love my dogs, But Noel Garcia bag was big. I see Rowley name on the bag. I ain't know with my eye. I might have to go and check by optical. I wonder if them open. COVID closed them too. Let me tell you something. Rowley Ball and Avery Hines say, and telling you the symptoms that Rowley had appeared on the 5th of April. Now the symptoms, as you heard just now in the I-95.5 interview, Rowley said, I was sneezing a bit more than usual, He didn't say after he went and played golf and it had plenty grass and thing, and sandfly and mosquito and grass fly went up in his nose hole because his nose hole does take plenty, right? He didn't say that. Then he didn't say he drink plenty scotch and eat shrimps on the golf club. But he saw sneezing on the night. And then he had a runny nose, so the next morning he run and take a COVID and he positive and no vaccine. And all they believe that nonsense and sat about wish him well. The only song was wishing well. What is that? That was Milli Vanilli. Wishing on her wishing well. Me I even know.
But watch this. This is the real thing that should have happened. When Dr. Hines and Parasram here, that Rowley was sneezing and had a runny nose, this is what should have taken place. I run it.
That as soon as last Monday night, when I started feeling my nose itching and I started sneezing a little bit more than I have experienced in time before without having a flu. Nose itching and I started sneezing a little bit of a runny nose. I told myself that these are flu-like symptoms.
Even with the nastiest, toughest colds, there's just no room on the calendar for sick days. That's the reason people trust Vicks NyQuil Severe to treat their worst cold and flu symptoms. NyQuil Severe delivers maximum symptom-fighting ingredients to relieve the ugliest, roughest colds and flus. And that's nothing to sneeze at. In fact, NyQuil is the #1 pharmacist-recommended brand for nighttime cold and flu relief. NyQuil Severe contains multiple active ingredients to fight the worst common cold and flu symptoms. The antihistamine in NyQuil Severe relieves sneezing and runny nose.
Nose itching and I started sneezing a little bit of a runny nose.
That is who should have taken the NyQuil. Girl, go and take our test, you know. We coming back. We ain't going yet. Share the live if you want, you know. Rowley, record, boy. Boy, the country just wondering how in the Lord Father name them could have make you a prime minister. The biggest disgrace in the history of Caribbean politics. Such a total, complete clown. We coming back.
Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago do we have this thing out to fix? We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race finally got places locked to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And it is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information. And welcome back. And just to tell you that it's not only me, that the entire country has now recognized that the entire process deployed, employed, and put in place by Rowley's cabinet, Convent Girl, the Buckmaster Parasram, and Dr. Hyde has been nonsense, not based on science, total nonsense. Rivers remain closed, but then closed down extra without having other person. Beach with hot sun, where the virus has only lived 12 hours in the hot sunlight, whereas in air condition, in indoors, in cool places, the virus lives 72 hours. So you have all this time to catch it indoors, but only this time to catch it outdoors. But all they don't understand that sunlight does kill the virus fast. All they don't know that. But you don't know the testing, the contact tracing. Dr. Hyde changing the tracing now because Rowley get it, but then he didn't get it. Dr. Hyde even changing the symptoms to runny nose and stuffy nose. Dr. Hyde telling me that illegal immigrants coming from Venezuela where COVID-19 fire burning like volcano, that they may bring no COVID-19, but all the citizens lock out. We know that it was total nonsense. This man says it best. I can't sing, so I go ask you to sing it with me. Play the guitar and sing a song, boy. And all you understand that this COVID-19 nonsense is total play.
So when WHO signs off on what is acceptable as a vaccine for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I would be the first in line to have my vaccine. As long as it is, you'll be second.
I'll be second. Lie again. Lie. Lie. Them is The biggest liar.
Just to find out who is the first person elected to get the shot today. And of course, we remember the Prime Minister said that once the vaccine is here, he'll be the first. And you said, of course, you'll be the second.
Correct.
Just to find out, just follow up on that one.
So I have no idea who is going to be first. On the principles of equity, the minister doesn't choose people.
Really use right now is a bacon roll and a cup of tea. I don't need positive affirmations, I need to scream and bawl. The unrealistic expectations won't help with this at all. This is shit. Well, this is shit. I'm not expecting answers because they're out of your remit. I'm not looking for solutions, just for someone to admit that this is shit, this is shit, this is shit.
Wearing a mask by the average Trinidadian and Tobagonian is of absolutely no use. As a matter of fact, it is more dangerous because the average person who does not know how to put on a mask or who puts on an ill-fitting mask is going to be doing what? Every 2 seconds, adjusting. And then you are touching your face. So I am appealing to the public. Stop buying masks. Thank you very much, Minister Cox.
Oh God, I would dead.
Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, members of the media. As you can see, we are leading by example from this morning in wearing masks. The masks that I think 3 of us have on so far are homemade masks. And this is a very simple way to go to help save. To make a mask is a very small amount of material. You could take an old t-shirt, you can make a mask. You could take a bandana and make a mask. There is no reason to open up cloth stores to make masks. An old t-shirt, you can make 10 masks out of an old t-shirt. And we all have old t-shirts.
All your poem in the video. Oh God! And Faris was the cameraman. Oh! I don't know what to say again. And all you vote for that? No. People look, I crying. Let me drink some water, yes? Oh Lord, all you vote for that, you know? My people. And I just little snippets, you know? All you vote for that. And then want to know why the economy in shambles, why the GDP going down from 157 billion under Kamla Bissessa in 2014 down to 112 billion before COVID. Now it must be 96 billion. The debt to GDP going up to 95%, nearly hitting 100%. The foreign direct investment at minus 600 million US. The foreign reserves moved from 12.26 billion US down to 5.2 billion US. We moved from 13 months import cover down to 5 months import cover. All you can't get no US. Your road a big pothole that man crashing in and people swimming in. No laptops, children can't even log on. You're suffering. Petrotrain shut down. 12 company in Point Lisa shut down because Smallpin and Rowley get outsmarted by brighter people and them dunce negotiate on our behalf and all you vote for that. No grant, no money for children, autism grant gone, children differently able could not go to school before COVID, no money for sport, mankind get surgery, national athletes, no money to go outside, no football home here, no we can't even exercise in a gym. These clowns, all you really vote for that? What all you want me to say? All I can do is laugh and cry. I cannot believe a human being will say, okay, I'm very serious about my country. I would like to know that I have a job and my children have an opportunity to expand and live and own a home and be able to pay bills and so on. And I'm going to vote for this Oreo guy who doesn't like people and says, wean yourself off the government, and he's going to give only his friends and family all the money. He puts one guy in charge of everything, no procurement. He guts the procurement legislation and turns it into legalized thieving. I'm going to vote for that guy who tells tells me that I'm stupid and I shouldn't don't turn the place into a ghetto, and don't throw sneakers up on the ceiling and the roof and wean myself of the government, and everything is the government, and the government, the government, and all you're only talking about the ferry, the ferry, the ferry, and then he goes and procures with this little small pin guy always chucking up at his side. That's who we vote for. I'm going to vote for that. Are you really serious? Serious? Let me see Rowley the puppet now. Let me see who my people vote. Because after this show, if all you vote race again, me and no, all you want, we better put Trinidad and Tobago inside La Soufrière. We better jump inside the volcano, because the volcano have more positivity than Rowley and the PNM. Run it, boy, Vishnu, boy, or you get hell party.
Where this remote is, boy? I don't hear what this PM had to say about this 3 weeks, boy.
Shakaron, 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 Shakaron.
They say the music does bring COVID. Actually, play that again, boy. Cigarette. That's what I'm talking. Hey now, oh Lord, all you really vote for that? Run it again, let me dance it.
Where this remote is, boy? I don't hear what this PM had to say about this 3 weeks, boy.
Shakaron, 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 Shakaron.
My boy threw out the TV, yes? And that is while we laugh, because if we don't laugh, we'll cry. You all cannot be serious. What you are born had nothing to do with you. Your mother see your father, like him. If he caught she, he track she, he get through, he married she, and all you come out. So how could that be the most important thing to you all, where we vote for this stupidity? If we did not have this race-based voting and this stupidity that they pumped down our head since 1956, Rowley would have gotten 3 votes. Judy Raymond, Andrew Gabriel, and Jackie Lazarus. 3 votes that man would have get. Oh, sorry, 4. Grabby Wabby wife. That's about it. Nothing more. But you all take this thing like a joke. And everybody suffering. Except that little few who fetting and having wedding. How much all you vote PNM and you can't go and play a little football now? What science said that anybody playing football gave somebody else COVID-19? What science said that anybody sitting properly in a restaurant and having a meal under mask and protocol sanitization, temperature checks and so on, gave COVID, spread COVID? What decision, what's this science that said you could go on a glass bottom boat, but don't turn on the gangali, don't put the music, don't turn on no soca, don't play no bungee, don't play no marshall, don't play no Kess. Well, Kess I could understand, you know, Kess will sing sweet, some of them women you might want to rub up close, and when you're on the radar, it's joke I making. How the music have to do with COVID? Who get COVID at a beach? Other than the ones in Tobago, possibly, when the man tell all you go across there and have a time. It's not about the ferry, the ferry, the ferry. Tobago is the place to be, said the fool. Yes, we found the fool. Vishnu, show them that we found the
Fool!
Because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe one or two parties, maybe one or two lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards. We are maybe one party away or one fool away from that.
The Office of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago has confirmed that Dr. Keith Riley has tested positive for COVID-19.
For the next 3 weeks, members of the public will no longer be allowed to dine in restaurants, bars, casinos, and cinemas. Minister of Health Terence Yalsing announced the measures in light of the increase in COVID-19 cases following the Easter weekend. Other measures include the reduced number of persons allowed to gather in public from 10 to 5 and the closure of all beaches, inclusive of those down the islands.
Now let we get serious now. And I'm asking you all seriously. Because this man, that Dr. Fool, loves to pull out the race card at every juncture. Because he had no other card in the pack. He can't say he increased energy sector investment. He increased tourism. He improved agriculture. He improved your roads. He improved investment in sport. He improved the banking sector. He improved the competitive index. He improved nothing. So what does he do? I black. But I does only lime in Mocha and Millennium Golf Cup. And I does only play golf and lime up in Goodwood Park. And they just call me black boy. But I black. Vote for me. Don't vote for Indian. Vote for me because I'm black. That's what he does. And some of you buy that stupidness. Every policy he had that Kamla put in place to help all people, especially black people. Where there's laptop, it wasn't laptop for Indian, laptop for everybody. It wasn't baby grant for Indian baby, it was for everybody. It wasn't children iPhone for Indian children, it was for everybody. It wasn't special needs funding for Indian children in special needs. It wasn't autism grant for Indian children, it was for everybody. It wasn't increased grant under Fasal Karim from 400 million to 800 million per year for Indian children, it was for everybody. It was an increase in sport from 10 million to 140 million just for Indian sportsmen and women. It was for everybody. Textbook for everybody. School for everybody. Road for everybody. Smooth road for everybody. Tobago Sea Bridge running smooth for everybody. Foreign direct investment, everybody. VAT off food for everybody. Children hospital for everybody. Other hospital for everybody. Childhood center for everybody. That was Kamla. But this man call a race card and all you buy that and then he come and take away everything that Kamla put for people. Take it and tell all you wean yourself off the government while he clean golf course and buy paintings and procure and put Noel Garcia to procure everything. And then put his boys and them at Heritage, shut down Petrotrin and put his lawyer in charge, as if his lawyer understand anything to do with gas. The only thing AA Commander know about gas is when he poops in the night after eating shut time. But now, he tells everybody, we lock down. Why will reverse lockdown all the time? Even when beaches open back. Who limes at rivers? See why people, some idiot tell me about Douglas, you're bringing race into, I'm not bringing race into politics. I am showing you all that race makes no sense in politics. Because a Douglas does not care if you're Indian or African, because we love each one. I love my black African father and I love my Indian mother. So race is out the window. So now we simply see who good and who bad, who care about people and who don't care, who does our old thief and gut procurement and who gives things to the people. We see it simply and clearly, and therefore we don't vote for fools or Dr. Fool or Dr. Hoyd. We don't do that. So that's why Douglas have it clear. So why rivers were closed all this time? Who is lying by rivers in the majority? Indian people. They must carry goat,
cook from scratch I eat by the river. Drink my rum and soda. Love me river line. Love me beach line too. But beach open and man leave river closed. Why? Why Doubles was closed but restaurants was open? You forget that? And now let me ask you the main question. How come Easter was come to Tobago and enjoy your Easter, frolic, get on the ferries. Tobago is the place to be. And right after, on the eve of Ramadan, during Navaratri, the Hindu celebration. Yeah, it's not no Hindu, so I pronounce it, I go learn. During this beautiful period of spirituality between the Hindu and more importantly, the Muslim faith. The most important time for Muslims all over the world. And right here in Trinidad and Tobago, Ramadan, where they celebrate Iftar, which is in the evening when you break fast, everybody community eat food and they could celebrate properly with protocols in place, with masks, with temperature testing, with sanitization. They could share a meal where those people who don't have as much could go by others and get a good meal. For a whole month you could eat and share, pray together, bond together safely. Bam! Lockdown. Easter frolic, drink, line, party, take something and wave, carry it away, go down there, golf, shrimps, scotch, all that. And don't get that, he's a Catholic, right? But I is a fair human being who love everybody and respect everybody religion. So why this clown, this blank man, this Oreo cookie who does call race card every time? But whenever it a race, Calcutta ship, or red black man dress up in red gorilla suit, raping and pulling the dress and sari, yellow sari of a woman, that what he promote and then apologize 8 days later when some 1%ers tell him he must apologize up in Goodwood Park while they drink scotch and eat shrimps. How come the holy month of Ramadan and Muslim people in Trinidad and Tobago are among the most disciplined? Whether in their education, their schools, their family, their culture, they follow the rules better than anybody. Furthermore, their natural dress code and so on, it already has covering. It's already COVID-19 correct. But you come to lockdown to prevent Muslims from being able to celebrate Ramadan properly. But just previously, Easter go free and wild up and encourage people to go in Tobago, plus wedding. It wasn't a Muslim wedding or a Hindu wedding. So why is that? Let me ask you all that. Since all you like to play, that Indian like to play race card. Indian don't do that. Bastio Pandey, give Shouta Baptist, Liberation Day holiday. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, build the first Baptist school. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, clear the way for across the board national policies that help everybody. Is Rowley come and suffer? Look at the black African constituencies under the PNM that have always voted PNM. They are behind in every category, from education, they are the top of the list with joblessness for the young people between 18 to 35. They are the most crime, the worst facilities. Now we come in to bust everybody throat in WASA. WASA is what? A set of Indian? WASA is 68 to 72% African Trinbagonian. They come in to bust all your throat and all they studying race. Imagine a man who claim after he changed his name from Sukaran to Al-Rawi and claim to be a descendant of Muhammad, because he went in one of them marketplace and buy a little chart and tell all you he is a direct descendant of Muhammad. He went in the Senate when the UNC said, listen, David Lee wrote to you the protocols. Why are we not following the COVID-19 protocols that we asked the entire country to follow? Whether fire station, look at fire station today, a fireman test positive, they closed down the fire station and sanitize the whole thing. The Penal DB Corporation, the police station in Penal, across the board, DPP office, courts, everybody taking the thing serious. but not the parliament of the PNM. Al-Rawi get up on the eve of Ramadan and starts off his presentation, bringing shade and attacking the UNC by saying, oh, in this chamber there is such peace here today. And in this month of Ramadan, I hope that the peace remains in here, and talking about that. That is so disgusting and disgraceful, to pretend to be bringing greetings on the holiest month of the year, and maybe the holiest month of the year for all religions, because Muslims don't make no joke. You have to respect that. Them love their religion and live it, and have a higher percentage of people who perform what they are told in the Quran. And this man he throwing shots at the opposition while simultaneously bringing greetings on Ramadan, and he find that is respectful. The man is a total abject idiot. They now saying the stop and start economy in Tobago don't make sense. Well done. Even the PNM in Tobago getting brain. How the stop and start could make sense? The stop and start don't make sense for the entire country. Tobago was shattered before COVID because of the breakdown in the sea bridge. Now all you had too much boat. You had galleons passage that good enough to go Grenada. You had 2 new boats that 300 million extra. You had the Spirit that walking, Kobo Star walking, and our next one coming. All you have enough boat that each Tobagonian could take their own boat to go Trinidad. But all they have no jobs, no economy, no tourists. They're going and build an airport for an extra 800 million. But all you have no tourist arrivals and no vaccination and herd immunity for the next 3 years. So nobody here coming there. But them going and build an airport. But they have no money to feed all you. Residents protest Nikwan blast. Nikwan blast. People play shatter, glass shatter, TV mash up, thing mash up. But here they clung at Nikwan, they find a next one, not Ainsley Gill. He busy dealing with land down there, trying to keep state land. The GTL process is fundamentally safe, and at no point were residents at risk during the incident, says Malcolm Wells, Vice President of Corporate Affairs. Malcolm, you not well, you unwell. We had the biggest explosion in the history of Trinidad and Tobago energy. People in Labre feel the vibration of the explosion at point up here. And you come to say the GTL process is fundamentally safe, and at no point were residents at risk. Like you eat all the wax out of the GTL plant, or you drink the little bit of diesel they make. TAT is doing a survey now to see who in Trinidad and Tobago has access to ICT. The Telecommunications Authority, TAT, in collaboration with the Central Statistical Office, will do a National Digital Inclusion Survey on April 17. April 17, 2021. Since lockdown and online school, since April 2020, 46,000 children, 46,668 children never went online. The PNM now going to do a survey to find out how many of them didn't get schooling for a whole year. And all you dip all your finger for that? All you dip your finger for that? The PNM has attacked education. They now come in with bursaries. Imagine children are being told by a lady who get a brief from she husband who's the Attorney General. She telling children that all your life, when you knew you're coming to Form 1, that there were 500 scholarships and you start to work to note, boy, I could get one of those. She come to tell them that you was out of place and wrong to be hoping. You had no expectation that if you were disciplined, work hard, study, listen to your teachers, did extra lessons, did your work, did your practices, did your SBA, that you had no expectation or you were wrong to expect getting a scholarship. But she expect to get she rent every month. She expect that when she husband go out, he had to hold his breath all night because his shirt so tight and his pants even tighter that he can't even breathe when he hugging up all them man and them doing wrestling. But you know that our children should not expect to be bright. They must try to be like you and find a clown to go in a cabinet, recuse himself and rent your own building, rent your building, rent your father-in-law building, and rent and give you brief. Because you didn't have to be bright. You real lucky. Woman, you have no shame. Like you lie down next to that man so much that you get as dotish as he. Best you wear that same tight shirt too, yes? The attack on education. Only watch this video, Vishnu. Again, headache. Run the video. PNM attacking education all around. Nothing sacred under the PNM. All you really vote for that? If they call an election, all you voting? Black man versus Indian again? Play the thing.
This year, even though she got a grade A in all of her CAPE subjects, Shania Ramsumir was denied a scholarship by this PNM government. The government told her that they had changed the rules, and even though she got top marks, she could not get a scholarship. Shania's family does not have enough money to send her to university. But she is not alone. The PNM has now cut the number of scholarships awarded on merit to hundreds of students, and instead will now choose for themselves who the state awards funds to for studying. But what is worse is that the PNM has hired the wife of Faris Alrawi to challenge students like Shania in court to make sure they never get 1 cent of scholarship money. While the PNM will now give millions of dollars to the family of Faris Alrawi, poor children in our nation will continue to suffer. Tell the PNM, no more. Our children matter more than PNM wives.
And just to clarify for you all, the Indian High Commissioner, again, in case you all did not hear it, he came out and was clear, made it lucidly clear, as he thanked the leader of the opposition, Kamla Bisesa, for writing to Prime Minister Modi to request belatedly, after Trinidad and Tobago and the PNM had missed the bus, after the chairman of CARICOM by rotation and not by merit had missed the bus, and Amory Brown said that CARICOM had missed the bus and should have attacked the COVID market together as a unit, while his prime minister was the chair of CARICOM. Amory Brown, you're making sense, but like you're going for leadership. Amory Brown also in a thread on Facebook said that what you all think if the borders are locked down to citizens and so on, where you think the COVID is coming from, it's just science, illegal immigrants. Well, then resign, Amory Brown, because that's your government, your Minister of National Security, your Prime Minister, your National Security Council that has left the borders porous while we are trying to fight COVID and failing, losing, and no vaccination coming. But they play the Indian Prime Minister forced out of his diplomatic cocoon to correct stupidity from PNM fools. Run it. That was the wrong one, but that comment just now, don't worry, it's trouble. It's really trouble. All you hear the Indian commissioner had to spell it out for Vishnu and Archie. 2 Indian in the back there and all you can't hear Indian. I better say Douglas, run it, man. Let me hear my boy.
Today, on behalf of India's people and government, I handed over 40,000 doses of AstraZeneca Covishield vaccines to Trinidad and Tobago's people and government. India and Trinidad and Tobago share a long friendly relationship, a similar history, culture, and democratic value system. This donation is a reiteration of that long-standing relations. I thank Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley and Foreign Minister Honorable Dr. Amory Brown for conveying their appreciation to Prime Minister Honorable Sri Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister, Honorable Dr. S. Jaisankar. I also thank the Leader of Opposition, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesar, for her letter to Honorable Prime Minister Sri Modi. The Leader of Opposition, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesar, for her letter to Honorable Prime Minister Sri Modi. We understand and value her sentiments. The people of India are proud of her achievements and struggle. Many in India look up to her as a beacon of women empowerment. In the last weeks, many individuals on the street, professionals, diaspora organizations, public personalities, business establishments, NGOs, and media have expressed their feelings either personally or through messages, emails, and social media posts. Your warmth touched us. I assure you that a hand of friendship extended to India will always find reciprocity. I also thank the team comprising officials in the Trinidad and Tobago Ministry of Health and Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, and those in the High Commission of India in Port of Spain, Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi, and others in India. They worked diligently to put in place the necessary logistics so that the vaccines could reach Trinidad and Tobago at the earliest. I urge all Trinbagonians to believe in science and take the vaccine if they are eligible and vaccines are available. It is our duty.
Yes, so we want to thank Kamla Prasad Bisesar for the 40,000. Had she been Prime Minister at the onset of this, I can assure you that she would have gotten at least 500,000 free vaccines from India. And already the 351,000 that were available through Ansa McCall trying to pay through the Ministry of Health, through Terence Dialsing, calling them and telling them, well, we have no cash, but we have the connection. That would have been 851,000 plus the 33,000 that would have reached by COVAX, because COVAX would have been late anyway, whether Kamla was there or not. COVAX would have been late, but that would have carried it up to 787,000, and then she would have made, like Mia Amor Motley, other discussions, other negotiations, and included the private sector to get that other 600,000 vaccines so that we could reach herd immunity before September, October 2021, so that we can have a domestic carnival, we can open back Tobago, we can open back for tourists, our people can fly and go and get their goods, and manufacturers could start to sell, and we could have created and generated some revenue here. We are at today in real serious trouble. Not only are we on lockdown and COVID-19 spiraling because of rowdy incompetence, we are in trouble because we have only vaccinated 10,360 people as of this morning. 10,360 people with another 750,000 people to go to even begin to reach the lower limits of herd immunity. And you all think this is a joke? This is real trouble. While we have a Prime Minister who is saying he was sneezing and sniffling, had a runny nose, and he have COVID, but yet he looking fresher, stronger, better, with comorbidities at 71 and not 71 normal years, 71 hard years from since he was a young teacher in Tobago in 1969, tracking that young girl who was of school age to impregnate she. That was hard work. To wine with a 17-year-old and get she HDC house, that was hard work. To be jamming with Judy and de facto and so Lazarus, who he raised from the dead, as well as Grabby Wabby wife, that is a hard life. We in trouble, but run it, Vishnu, trouble.